Hello, welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm Stephen Meadows. In today's Hidden Gem, I want to talk to you a little bit about my humble beginnings in the real estate industry. Coming up in August of 2021, I will be celebrating my 20th year in the business, and it's so hard to believe that 20 years has passed. When I got my license right out of high school, literally right out of high school, I had no idea that I would be doing this long term. I thought it would just be something I would do to pass the time while I went through college. Originally, I was going to study computers, then I switched to business, then psychology, then business again. But by the time I circled back around to the business, I knew real estate was where I wanted to be. But I want to tell you a little bit about how I got started, because I want everyone out there to know that it doesn't really matter how you get started in the business. Anybody can be successful, and this business has so much to offer anyone, really. It's such a multifaceted industry, and I've said that for almost the full 20 years that I've been in this business. So I got my start working at Big Lots in my hometown when I sold a stereo to a local broker who happened to know a cousin of mine. And we established a relationship, and eventually I went to go work for her as her marketing person, because at the time she was still using a typewriter and pasting Polaroid photos to paper. That was a flyer. I showed her how the magic of Microsoft Word could change her life, and how I can create digital flyers very easily. Anyway, this is back in 2001. And even now I kind of laugh at how simple the technology was back then, but it got the job done. I had a piece of crap car. It was a 1989 Suzuki Sidekick with some busted up side panels. I eventually upgraded to a better car, but it wasn't pretty. My start to the business was very much I'm going to do this, I'm going to get my license and see what happens. Because it was fun. It was a really fun thing. So in my first year in the business, I got my GRI, Graduate Realtor Institute designation. I was very, very focused on education in my early years, and I don't think in today's market I could have done the same thing. I had a safety net. I still lived at my parents' house. I didn't have to make as much money. I don't think I could do the same thing today. So I was really lucky that I was able to focus on the education, but I think in hindsight I focused too much on it. And I was really involved in the association. I was Realtor of the Year at age 20, but I wasn't selling a lot of real estate. So I think looking back, I would have liked to have learned more of the fundamentals of sales rather than focusing on my future. I very quickly realized that I wanted to be in management. Here I am, 20 years later, VP of Operations for a real estate company. I'm where I want to be. And so I kind of think back to my beginnings. I still remember my first closing. It was a $45,000 house, and I had one half of one side. I was sharing it with somebody else. So, I think I got a whopping $350 for it or something like that. I mean, it was crazy. I think it was actually $325. But I was so happy to get that money. I was so excited. And I look back and I look at how much promise I had and how much enthusiasm I had. And so I hate when we feel like we have to give new agents the hard dose of reality. It's okay to have aspirations. You don't have to crush their dreams right away. You can be as successful as you want to be. I know agents who, made six figures in their first year in the business. It can happen. It's hard work, but it can absolutely happen. I didn't really break through until after my third year, which is what I was told when I got started. Oh, it'll take about 3 years and then everything will start clicking. And it really is what happened. Then I relocated and I got into a new niche, and I did foreclosures during the recession and just had an absolute blast. It was very much in my wheelhouse, my personality, and handling the very structured nature of a foreclosure deal. So anyway, off track, but don't discount the beginnings of a humble agent. You don't have to have the fanciest car. You don't have to have the prettiest clothes. You don't have to have the manicure and the Louis bag and the, red bottom shoes, whatever. You don't have to have all that stuff. You don't have to dress in a 3-piece suit. Be yourself, be genuine, work hard, have a passion, and I think you'll succeed. That's what I did. I worked hard. I knew that I could do this. I believed in myself, and others believed in me as well. I had a lot of help along the way. I didn't do it alone, and you won't either. Get a mentor, get a coach, whatever you need. You know my opinions on coaching, but go out there and get what you need, whatever it's going to take to get you motivated to succeed. There's a lot of things I would do differently, but we all know I don't believe in regrets, so it happened the way it happened, and that's fine. I wouldn't change any of it, but if I had to start over today, I definitely would do things a little bit differently with what I know now. I look at all the tools and tech that even just my company offers to our agents, and I think, man, I could crush it if I just ever decide to get back into sales. I have no intention of ever getting back into sales. I love operations, but I think back to when I started, and I don't. It's so different. It's just so different. We still had MLS books back. I was still using the old Nextel phone, where it was like a walkie-talkie phone, and I had a Palm Pilot with a stylus. I mean, that was the height of sophistication when I was an agent. In my early years. So, in some ways, agents today have it better. In other ways, it was a simpler time back then, and it was fun, and it still is fun. And I wouldn't trade any of it. It was awesome. I still loved driving around in that junky car, even though it was slightly embarrassing. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that. I hope it inspires you, perhaps, or at least lets you know that you can be successful despite your quote-unquote humble beginnings. So I hope that helps. I hope you have a great day and make amazing choices.